Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have some sad news, but before we get to that, last night we went and ate koi, which is guinea pig in Arequipa. I'm going to be putting some videos and photos on screen so you can see. So guinea pig is a specialty in Peru, and I think especially in this part of the country, and it's something we've been wanting to try for a little while now and haven't seen it anywhere apart from last night. We kind of went specifically to this restaurant because I kind of found out that they had koi. So we went there and had that, and it was so interesting to have it on the plate and to kind of see it sprawled out and deep fried almost. We tried it, it tasted a little bit like chicken almost. It's kind of just soft white meat. I only had a little bit, I tried a little bit of the skin and then a little bit of the meat, and Jeremy ate the rest of it. I had trout for my meal, so I did try a little bit, but it was mostly Jeremy's meal. He enjoyed it. He said he probably wouldn't have it again because there wasn't a whole lot of meat on there compared to something like chicken, and it was expensive as well. So most of our meals that we've been having have been costing about €2 each. This one cost about €10 for the koi, for the guinea pig, and then about £7 for my trout, so it was a little bit more expensive last night. But it was something that we wanted to try before we leave Arequipa and before we leave Peru, which leads me on to the bad news. So I've kind of been hinting at something going on at home. I haven't really explained what. I talked about it in the podcast episode that went live a couple of weeks ago now as you're watching this. But basically my dad had a stroke just before Christmas, and he's basically lost all of his communication, so he can't understand when people speak to him, and he can't speak for himself either. He kind of mumbles words, or he kind of gets confused. He says the same word over and over again. So he's really struggling with communication. And he's deaf, he's hard of hearing as well, he wears hearing aids, so it's kind of extra hard because he can't hear us properly, but he also can't understand what people are saying properly. So this happened about just over a week ago now, and I've kind of been and ahhing about coming home, and I didn't know what to do. And he kept saying be happy, stay in Peru, because he wanted me to, he wants me to live my life and to do what I'm doing and not worry about him basically. And also my mum and my brother and everyone said to stay here, so I have stayed here even though I've been worried about him the whole time. And I spoke to mum a couple of days ago and I said, if you ever want me to come home, please just let me know. And she rang me yesterday and said, actually please can you come home, because my grandma keeps asking about me. She's been a little bit disorientated, she's been a little bit worried about where she is, and she misses me. She, whenever I speak to her, she's like, when are you coming home, when are you coming home? So she misses me, but I think also my mum needs some help, she needs some support. I think she's finding it quite hard to deal with. And then also once we get my dad into speech therapy, I'll be able to help him a little bit in terms of the exercises and things to do at home. Apparently he just needs to talk as much as he can. For the first 12 weeks it's the most crucial, so I'm a bit of a chatterbox so I'll be able to go over there and just talk to him and help him with saying words. And I just think it's a lot for my mum at the moment to look after my 91-year-old grandma and my dad, and then also herself, and food and finances and cooking and cleaning and all that, everything basically. So we're going to go home. We booked flights yesterday and we leave tomorrow, so we need to go and get a PCR test today. We're flying Arequipa to Lima, Lima to Amsterdam, and then Amsterdam to and then Amsterdam to Manchester. So we'll be home. Well, we arrive in Manchester on Saturday at 4:30. So a couple of days, 2 days from now. So yeah, that's the change of plan. So it doesn't mean that our travels are cancelled. It just means that we're kind of on pause for a minute. I'm not sure how long we're going to be home for. Whether it'll be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. I'm hoping not much longer than 8, honestly, just because we do want to come back out travelling, and I don't want it to be a permanent thing that we're just staying there. I think it's more just to help at the moment while things are a little bit up in the air, and until we get speech therapists in, until we get things sorted and a bit of a routine and figure out what's going on. So that's the update. So yeah, we need to go for a PCR test today. Apparently there's a hospital about a 10-minute walk away from here. We're going to try there, otherwise we found somewhere else. We'll just have to get a taxi. I think it's a 20-minute taxi away. We'll go do that and get the PCR test today, and then we leave tomorrow at 1:30. So today's our last day in Peru, our last full day, and I'm hoping we get the PCR test done pretty quickly, and then we can kind of spend a little bit of today looking around and trying to enjoy the last bits of Peru basically. But we will be back. So please still subscribe if you're new. There's still going to be travel content coming very, very soon. It just might be a little bit delayed with us going back to England. So that's the update. So yeah, I'm going to show you around our last day. I'm going to go for a PCR test, hopefully look around a little bit, and then I'll also be vlogging the journey home a little bit as well. Okay, so let's go for a PCR test. Okay, so I put my hair up and we are now walking to the laboratory. We went to one and they said they didn't do PCR testing and gave us the address for another one. It's about 7 blocks away. So we're going to head there and see if we can get it done. Not sure what's going on here. Okay, we're going to try here. Okay, so that one didn't do PCR test and they sent us to another laboratory, so I've got a feeling we're going to be walking around for a little while trying to find someone that does PCR tests. So wish us luck for the next place. Okay, so let's see if we are third time lucky we've come here. If you can see that, let's see if we can get a PCR test. It says PCR, so that's a good sign. Okay, so I'm standing in the corner away from other people, which is why I've lowered my mask, but we've just done the PCR test. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it. So we got to Laboratorios Muñoz, and we arrived, got in line, and then figured out we had to, well, they told us we had to fill out a form first. So then came outside to like the garage area, the car park I guess, and filled out the form, which was super hard because it was in Spanish, so I had to try and use Google Translate and just fill out as much as we could basically. Then went back in the line and only Jeremy was allowed to queue, and then we realised that I had half the money, so I had to go back round and find him again, and anyway, ended up paying 200 soles each, which is about 40 euros each. So it was 80 euros in total to get 2 PCR tests in Arequipa. Pretty quickly, I mean straight away almost, we went in for the test. It was both the back of the mouth and the nose. My nose was a little bit tickly, but she was quite good. I feel like the first one I had in France, if you watch that vlog you know what I'm talking about, was awful. They like traumatised me, and the ones I've had since then have not been that bad. So it wasn't that bad, it was the back of the throat and the nose, and we should get the results today from 4:30 basically. So hopefully we get the results this afternoon and then we're flying tomorrow. So it's now about 11:30. I think we're going to walk to a lookout point. I've seen it online. It's meant to be like a beautiful lookout view of the city and maybe the mountains. So we're going to walk there. I guess we'll get lunch at some point. So yeah, let's get going. I just thought I'd update you on the PCR test. So we are walking to the lookout point and we're just walking past this church, so I thought I'd video it because it looks quite beautiful. Anyway, we're going to be going down this way, crossing the bridge, and I think the lookout point is beyond the bridge. I mentioned in one of my other vlogs that Arequipa is known as the White City because a lot of the buildings are made out of this white stone, and it's so beautiful. You can see here how there's a couple of buildings all together. I'm guessing this is the white stone. It looks it looks like it. But yeah, it's so pretty and so gorgeous. So we've carried on walking, and there's this beautiful big church. I'm not sure if it's a monastery, if it's a church, but it's got big walls. Oh, not so beautiful that side. More beautiful this way. Okay, this is the front, and that is so pretty. Oh, it's gorgeous. So we've come for a closer look, and I think I can go inside, so I'm going to have a quick peek and see what there is. Oh, okay. Okay, I tried to sneak in. I saw that you had to pay, and then she said no, it's closed. So I wasn't allowed in, but I think it's got a big beautiful courtyard. That's a shame, but oh, it's pretty around here as well. And this is round the other side, just kind of off to the left. I wish I was allowed in. I love churches. I'm not religious, but I love looking in churches around the world. So So this is the convent that I've just tried to sneak into, and we're now going to walk down the side, and we're heading towards the bridge to be able to cross over to see the viewpoint, but there's more of this white stone again I was talking about. So this is the bridge that we're crossing now. So from this side of the bridge you can see some mountains and trees, a stream, and I kind of want to cross over and look at the other side. I'm going to take a photograph first, so wait 1 second. Okay, and then from this side you can see more mountains and lots of buildings all built up. So we're walking uphill. I think this is it. This is the lookout. Yay! We made it. We are here. We've made it to the lookout point. There's a beautiful church behind me. They're setting up some chairs. I think it's like a graduation or something going on. And then the lookout point is there. So this is the lookout point, and there's lots of these archways, and through there you can see one of the mountains. Apparently it's about 5,000 meters high and it takes about 2 days to climb it, so that's crazy. So we're now just walking around the square a little bit. We're not quite sure what else there is to see in this area. I'm guessing not a lot. But it's beautiful. There's lots of palm trees here, which is nice, isn't it? It's beautiful. This decoration is so cute. Santa up there. And the church and park are down there. So there's a Queso Helado. There's another one here, and there was another one over there somewhere. I can't remember where. But Queso Helado is basically an ice cream from this region, from Arequipa. So I think you can only find it here. I don't think it is made of cheese, even though it's called Queso Helado. But it is something I would maybe like to try while we're here. There's another one as well. Oh no, the two selling it as well, so there's loads of it.
12 soles for starter with lasagna of vegetables.
Ooh.
The main meal is some steak and a dessert.
Alpaca steak as well, isn't it? Don't know what that means.
Apanado.
So that one says Queso Helado. This one as well says it on this sign, and then this one says it on this sign. So all three here sell it. So we have to try some before we leave. So we've come upstairs to this one to look at the menu, and there's views over the square. Okay, so little update. We went to a restaurant, we went upstairs in another one just so that I could look at the view basically. Pretended we might want to eat there and looked at the menu. It was expensive anyway, the prices were about 50 soles, but it was more so that I could see the view. And then went to a different place and got a 3-course meal for 12 soles. So we had a piece of lasagna to start, which was pretty good. We then had beef, chips and rice and a bit of salad for our main course. And then the tiniest piece of chocolate cake I've ever seen in my entire life. But that was good. We then went and watched some of the music, the live music. And then we got ourselves an ice cream. So I'm going to insert the footage of me tasting the ice cream for the first time, because I've just finished it and it was delicious. So I'm going to pop that in now. So we're just about to try some of the Queso Helado, which is cheese ice cream it's called. It's very creamy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice. I would taste.
Thumbs up from me. But yeah, we're now going to head back, and there's one church I want to look at on the way that we saw. It was red, like a kind of deep dark red colour, so I think we're going to look at that. Anything else you want to do back on the way back?
Probably not.
No.
Same taxi.
Yeah, this is cool. There's something called Femme Taxi, and all the taxi drivers are women. I think that could go global. Like, it would be so nice to feel safe having a female taxi driver. Anyway, so we're now just walking back, and we're going to go and see a beautiful red church. So this is the church that we've just come to visit. We're in the district of Yanahuara, I think it's called. There's this beautiful red church. You can't really see because the light isn't brilliant, but it's gorgeous. Right, time to take some pictures. So we're on our way back to the hostel, and we're about to cross over another bridge. So I thought I would show you the sights and show you what we can see. Wow, they're so colourful. And cross over. There's lots of locks, like the bridges in Paris. Hi guys, just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. So we came back to the hostel after the footage you've just seen, and basically I've been saving all of my video footage, all of my photographs, I've been editing, but I've been saving everything on Jeremy's computer and also on 2 hard drives so that I don't lose any more data after what happened in Oxapampa. So I've been doing that. We've also been packing. I've just watched the last episode of Selling Sunset, which I bloody love. But we're now going to go out for dinner, so I'll check in again probably tomorrow to kind of show you our travel journey. I guess we leave at 1:30, so we're going to have breakfast here in the morning, and then we'll head off to the airport, so that'll be coming very, very soon. Good night.